What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video on the channel. We're outside the lodge or inside the lodge playing some 130 right now with your boy Mariano, and we're getting some action. 130 game, match the stack. It's $600 to start, but as you know, it doesn't take too long to get some more money on the table. So we're gonna try to run it up. Hopefully you enjoy the content, and always that subscribe button, the like button, they're always free, so if you want to tap that, always helps the channel grow. But let's get into the action. It's a fun game here. Let's get into the hands. So we're into a brand new 1-3 game where the max buy-in so far is $600, but as you know, it's match the stack here in Texas, and it only took us 1 hour to get our stack up to $2,000 in total as some stacks started building. We have no interesting hands so far, but we're now officially in for 2,000 and the action's about to pick up. So 1 hour into the session, we pick up ace-9 of hearts in +2. There's an undergun open to $15 and 4 people are in the hand. I make the call. We're off to see a flop. The flop comes ace-9-8 rainbow. Top 2 pair with a backdoor flush draw seems pretty ideal. And when action checks to me, I'm going to throw out a smaller bet here as we're multi-way. I bet out $30. Smaller as I pretty much have the entire board locked up. Well, things don't seem to be the case as 3 people make the call, the cutoff, button, and small blind. So maybe we don't have everything locked up. When we're off to a turn, which comes the 4 of clubs, brings in 2 clubs out there, and when action checks to me again, we're definitely have to put out a bet, and we want to see how strong these other players' hands are. When we have so much action on the flop, I bet out another larger sizing to $120. This time, we get some of the players to thin out the field. Only the small blind player makes the call with about $450 left in stack. We're definitely hoping to see a brick river and go for all of it. When the river comes a deuce, that's the card we're looking to see. He checks to me for a 3rd time, and it's unfortunate of a situation as I was hoping this player would try to bluff at it. But anyways, we only have 1 move, and that is going to be all of it. Go all in as all the draws bricked out and missed, and a lot of the ace-x 1-pair holdings can easily make the call. So rip it all in and jam, but unfortunately he doesn't take too long before folding, so unfortunate to not get the maximum, but it is one of the first interesting hands that we take down of the day. Next, after that, pick up a little bit of an improvement. We have ace-jack offsuit in the big blind, and the player to my left straddled for $15, so playing 1-3-15 so far. The low jack limps and makes the call for $15. Small blind calls are $15 as well, and we're out of position. We have a pretty decent hand to play. Want to size up where I can easily take down the money pre-flop, which is totally okay. I size up to $75, and yeah, welcome to Texas. Not a single player folds left to act. Under the gun, low jack, small blind all seem to like their cards. We're going to a flop where some of the players are playing very short stacked as well, a few hundred deep. Going to a flop of ace-6-6 rainbow. Awesome flop with a pair of aces on this paired board. Small blind checks to me, and definitely going to bet again with a pair of aces. I down bet to $100. And surprisingly, with all that action pre-flop, we get no action after the flop. Everyone folds, but let's scoop this $300 pot, stress-free. We'll take it down. In this next one, it's quite the doozy. So we have ace-queen of diamonds, we're under the gun, and we straddle to $6. We get 3 players to limp around into the small blind player, who's actually Skull Mike. He's the commentator of Lodge Live. He raises it up to $50, and he's actually playing pretty deep stacked, about 2,500 in stack. And when the big blind folds, we're in position. I think that this is just a mandatory 3-bet spot as we have a pretty strong hand. So I decided to 3-bet and size to $150. All of the limpy poos, they get out of the way onto Skull Mike, and he makes the call. So heads up in position in this re-raised pot. The flop comes queen, 8-3, 2 clubs, and a diamond. On this particular board texture with top pair and top kicker, this is going to be fun. He checks to me, and I'm definitely going to put out a bet, and I decided to size to $100, and the fun is already getting started here on this flop. Action onto him, and he decides that $100 is not enough. Puts in a check raise and sizes to $250.
and certainly an interesting dynamic and an exciting spot to be in, as obviously with top, we're never folding. And I think this smaller sizing leads to me thinking he may have some sort of value hand, so some hands like pocket eights for sets, ace queen for chops, and king queen make the most sense. For $150 more, I am not going to do anything but make the call. Re-raising him in this spot seems like a little bit of an overplay, so for 150 more, we make the call. Going to a turn, which comes the 3 of spades. Loving it, although I wished it was a diamond. Still a card that's really good for us as it eliminates combinations of sets. And now he continues for a larger sizing of $505. Once again, on this board texture, we're still just never folding. Now just hoping he has king queen or some sort of club draw like 10-9 suited for a combo draw. Who knows? But for 505, let's make the call and evaluate a river. Let's go to a river, which is the 4 of diamonds. It's another brick on this board, and he goes into the tank for a while and go over his options and ultimately ends up checking, which is certainly something I never expected. Thought he would continue betting for bluffs or for value, but when he checks, I am kind of just taken aback by this, and I think now what sizing to bet, because checking back on this board with everything missing seems a little too fishy. It looks like I have about a pot size bet left, and I can certainly just rip it all in, but if somehow Mike has pocket eights for a set and snap calls, that would kind of suck. So ultimately I ended up betting out $1,200, and with this pretty large bet, I've only got about $600 more behind, and Mike decides $1,200 isn't big enough. He rips it all in for $600 more for us, and I can't really fold here given what we've committed in the middle. I tell him if he has pocket eights, then nice hand. We're going to have to make the call, and this player shows us ace queen as well. So much action for a very anticlimactic end to chop the pot. Ace queen versus ace queen on this flop, it was always going to get in. All right, with that anticlimactic end to the hand, let's try to spice things up with ace-10 of spades in the cutoff. There's 2 players who limp, and, you know, we're going to raise it up to a larger sizing as Texas players don't really like to fold. I raise it up to $30, and no folding here. Small blind, big blind, and under the gun, all calls. So 4 ways to a good-looking flop of queen, 9, 6, 2 spades. Action checks to me, and we certainly have some good equity with an over, nut flush draw, and backdoor straight draw. I'm going to play this a little bit tricky and check this, and action checks around. So still going to a turn 4 ways, which is the 4 of diamonds. Now the small blind leads and bets out $80. Action folds to me, and I've clearly under-repped my hand so far. Not going to go anywhere. I am going to defend and make the call. We're off to see a river. The river is the bink 8 of spades. Love to see that with the nut flush, and once again he leads, and it's for a pretty large sizing of $225. It's pretty large, and this player has about $800 behind in his stack, and we're obviously going to put in a raise, and it's just a matter about how much. If you wanted to raise for a value-like sizing of like $600, give or take, I think for an extra $375 we certainly can get paid. But you know what? Why play for only $600 when we can play for all of it? So let's go for it. It's about $800 on top. I jam about 1,000 effective, and he goes deep into the tank. Once again, thinks about it for a while, weighs out his options, and ultimately thinks that it's better to throw his cards into the middle and muck them. We don't get paid. Looks like he made a pretty good fold, whatever he may have had, and I don't know, maybe the jam is a little bit too big, but we always want to play for stacks.
Little mid-session update for you guys. We played for about 2 hours with a 2-5, and we were in the game for 2,000, out of the game for 29.75. Game just broke, or not broke, but moved to the 5-5 right after that ace-10 hand. So we're playing 5-5, uncapped buy-in, so we might buy in for maybe 4 or 5,000. Not really sure how much we want to add on just yet, but it's uncapped. We'll see how big the biggest stack is and see how the table goes, but we're playing big. Hopefully enjoy this one. This will be definitely action-packed. Try to pick our spots and, you know, maybe get some fireworks going, but keep you guys updated. Probably going to be in for about 4,000 or 5,000. So far, 1-3 is a good start. Let's run it up in the 5-5.
As if this session wasn't action heavy enough, in this hand there's a $10 and $20 straddle on. So 5-5, 10, 20 in the middle. We looked at it, king, queen off. We're in the cutoff, and I decide to open this one up to $60. Action folds around to the small blind player who has a rather small stack for this specific game. Got a few hundred behind, but he's the only participant in this hand. He makes the call, and we're off to a flop of queen, 7, 9, 2 clubs. He checks to me, and on this board with top pair, good kicker, I'm going to throw out a bet of $100, and he decides on a call for 100 with less than 400 in stack, so about 380. We're off to see a good-looking turn, which is the jack of clubs. Still, we've got top pair, and we do have a straight draw, plus the king of clubs to fall back on. So a ton of equity, and when he checks again, we're just going to go for stacks, play for the effective stack as we have a lot of equity with one pair. I rip it all in, and it's 380 effective. He decides on a call. So we're off to a river. Maybe we have to improve. Maybe one pair is good for now. The river is the ace of hearts, which kind of crushes our souls and dreams. I show as the raiser, and well, he only shows us the nuts, and it's not the nuts you'd expect to see in the ace high flush, but a straight flush. 10, 8 of clubs. Yeah, I think you're good here. I think he could have called a little bit faster on the turn with the straight flush, but I guess I'm only happy that I lost a few hundred versus a little bit larger of a stack if he was deeper. What you're watching right now is a nice warm welcome to what's called Texas Stand-Up. This is a fun game here in Texas where everybody stands up at the table, and whoever wins a pot can sit down. Last person standing owes everyone at the table $50, so pretty healthy chunk of money that you're going to lose to the table. Let's sweat out this action as we're playing a hand standing up.
All right, we got 3 left standing. TJ,
40 on.
our friend here, and me. One of us will lose $400.
So in our round of the Texas stand-up, it's only me and TJ as the last 2 of the entire round to stand up. Whoever wins the pot can sit down. Whoever loses the next pot between us will have to pay the whole table $50. If action folds to us, we would just go all in blind as a flip for the last 2. And indeed, here's the hand. He's in the $10 straddle. I'm in the $20 straddle, but interestingly enough, there's a $40 straddle behind to my left. And of course, the situation arrives where action folds to us. TJ, action onto him, as agreed. He rips it all in blind. It's about $500, and I'm in a pretty weird spot as I'm obviously happy to call as agreed upon, but there is a $40 straddle behind me, and he has a $7,000 stack. And yeah, I kind of don't want to call 500 and see this $40 straddle or wake up with a hand. Anyways, after talking to this player, I ended up just making the call. Good thing the $40 straddler folds 8-4 offsuit, so he didn't really have anything. We were up against 6 deuce offsuit, and we actually looked down at a pretty good hand, king, queen off. The loser of this hand not only loses the $1,000 pot in the middle, but also owes everyone $50. Let the madness ensue.
All right, I got out. Oh, I got four. Deuce 6, 4.
Put it over there. Let him peel it.
Will he peel?
Let Mariano peel it.
Oh, let me see.
Peel it.
Oh no, Mariano, come on, Deuce. Put it Deuce. Oh! King high garbage.
King high takes the win. It's the shirt, everyone. We avoid pain. We avoid max pain. Here we go.
King high takes it down, and on top of that, we also win the extra $50 from TJ. In one of the last interesting hands of note, picking up ace queen offsuit in the big blind, we have the $20 straddle on. There are 3 players who limp to me, and we're out of position. Definitely going to size up with the raise, and we raise it up to $150, thinking it's going to be large enough to at least isolate a little bit of the field. But I forgot we are in the good state of Texas, not a soul folds. 4 players call around, so looks like this $150 raise is just a pretty friendly pot builder. We're going 5 ways to a flop, which comes 4, 5, 5, 2 spades. Well, on this paired board, multi-way, we unblock spades, which isn't good, but when people are playing almost any 2, maybe ace queen high can be good here. A little ambitious thinking, but I c-bet a sizing of $250. Action folds around to the small blind. Let's try to get this one through. We're so close, but he decides to have other intentions. He rips his entire stack in there. It's about 1,000 or a little bit more than 1,000 total. We just can't do anything besides fold. Ace queen high, obviously. We were so close of stealing this pot with ace queen, but the last person to act just had to wake up with something good enough. Unfortunately, we're not going to take this one down, but we do get to play a game where the dealer shows 1 card and the dealer picks a 3. Later, he just tells us he had 3, 5, 4 trips on the flop. That's going to be good enough to take it down. Nice hand.
So, safe to say, this session was absolutely ridiculous and insane. The 1-3, you know, it went fine. It went okay. We played for 2 hours, and then the real poker got started in the 5-5 game. So we're in the game for $7,000, and we played no less than 20 bomb pots. $50 bomb pot 9 ways, and that adds up a lot. And you guys didn't know about it because I didn't win any. Nothing significant happened in there. We just paid our $50 at least 20 times, and that's $1,000 right there. So yeah, unfortunately, no significant hands. Mariano played a massive one if you want to check it out on his vlog, which I'm sure you guys already saw. But nothing significant. We were in the game for 7,000, out of the game for 5,800 total, minus of 1,200, and considering the $20 and $40 straddle was on for the significant portion of the session, $1,200 loss, including $50 bomb pots, like every other hand. Not a bad loss at all. Overall today, I think we lost around 300, give or take. But the session was ridiculous, action central, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow where we're playing the live stream, and you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll try not to punt. But thanks so much for watching this video. Leave a like if you made it at the very end. It's always much appreciated, and these Texas vlogs, man, they're like nothing else. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.